Hello, friends. A very warm welcome. And in this session, also, we're going to take up 5 questions, but again, with the same objectivity, same clarity, and also same happiness, so that we can learn and we can imbibe those values and ideas which can help us to get success in the examination, which we believe have no shortcuts, but a kind of a sustained, objective, and a true intention. What are different dimensions of food security? Examine India's status. So that means the question demands you to understand data, statistics, and certain kind of quantified position in terms of ensuring food security with regard to these dimensions. So dimensions are also being asked, and there are no set or there are no technical dimensions of food security. One has to create the dimension on own. So it depends whether you see one dimension of food security, like we see, like you can say whether it is adequate, like with availability, that's what we say. Secondly, like accessibility, affordability, and even buffer and its diversity. And most importantly, food surplus. This is a very good point. And 3,250 metric tons, very true. So 4 points in a quick manner in the examination kind of situation are really appreciated, because food security and its dimensions. One could be, strategic dimension also you could have brought, but it depends on if we are talking about GS paper 3, and if it is the economics question. If it is coming in GS paper 2, then the approach will be different. And even if it is coming in GS paper 1, then a little bit of approach will be different. It all depends where it is coming over. And even if it is coming in ethics, then also the approach will be different. So delving into India's status with each one of the dimension: availability, climate smart agriculture to boost productivity, production, total acreage area 140 million hectare, 70 million hectare. Now this could have, if this could have been shown through a pie chart, same thing we would have achieved, but then maybe presentation would have helped us to get 0.5, 0.3 marks better, because it takes time to write everything. You can just draw and then cross it, but then it's also wonderful. Increasing depth of groundwater table in Western India, water stress by Central Water Commission, and fertilizer consumption. Means data is amazing. If you are able to bring it on your own, that really appreciated. Accessibility, FCI distribution, fair price shops under targeted PDS, one nation, one ration card scheme, PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, fight multidimensional poverty. I think not too technical, but also clarity is there. Affordability, food and fertilizer subsidy, rupees 2 lakh crore, budget 22, 25, and 1.5 lakhs. So that means question whatever is demanding, you are able to bring it not in a layman's term, but not exactly in terms of technical. Also, it is a kind of a awareness, what we can say. So that's fine. I'm not saying all the ideas would be covered, because the question is open ended, but whatever is being brought on the table, it must be able to justify. So it is being brought here. Maintained by FCI, need to further diversify, encourage crop rotation by Shri Anna and oilseeds, warehousing services by private players, center and state warehousing corporation. Food security is the key to meet SGD 20, SGD 2, zero hunger, and SGD 3, good health. Fair enough, good effort. So if you push a little bit more, then there will be a little bit more, little bit, maybe 2 to 5% more space will be there. But then overall, the answer is moving towards an appropriate level. Modern technologies such as blockchain and chat GPT are powerful tools with immense potential to transform agriculture into a more efficient and sustainable sector. Discuss in context of India. So very broad question. You have to bring over here role of agriculture startups, or even the role of government of India, Ministry of Agriculture, and even Ministry of Science and Technology, and even role of ISRO, or even you can bring the state government's role when they are trying to modernize agriculture, and more communication and more connectivity is there with the farmer. So I think very broad question. Uh, a lot can be written here. Blockchain and ChatGPT, two eyes of modern ecosystem with the potential to address infrastructural and market access gaps. This is a very good line. Rise of agriculture startups leveraging critically emerging technology, agriculture supply chain more resilient, and green revolution 2.0. It is perfect, not it's on track. Improve traceability and transparency of agriculture supply chain. For example, Niti Aayog's pilot project, real-time tracking of produce farm, e-market and informed decision making. So a level is difference. A level is being reflected in the answer. Data analytics of agriculture loans and subsidies, ensuring rationalization and removal of middlemen. Market access and fair pricing with decentralized markets, agri bazaar. And even the kind of the financial chain is there. That chain can also be, what I should say, the chain can become more formal, the chain can become more secure if AI and blockchain is being used. It can diversify. It can bring data also. Blockchain can be helpful in bringing more data on the table. More diversity can be there. Application of chat GPT's farmer advisory services, increasing resilience, preparedness of farmer chatbots in Maharashtra, common pest management, weather and pricing for forecasting and demand supply trends. For example, Rajasthani app, optimal time to sow and sell, grievance redressal, crop insurance claims under PM Fasal Bima Yojana, training and capacity building, virtual coach. Challenges: digital divide and literacy, high cost and tech devices, algorithm bias and privacy. Therefore, role of IITs and ISCs will determine modernity question in agriculture. I agree, but then suddenly you are bringing IITs and ISC. You can say that modern institutions, they are pursuing, basically. They are raising the modernity question, basically. That's what we can say. So it depends, because you are trying to first bring ideas in your mind, and then you are connecting, for example, three different elements in the answer. So structure is ready in the mind, but it has to be more little organic, and it is to be more confident. So more vocabulary change will be visible. What factors have led to the acceleration recent acceleration in trend towards de-dollarization of global economy? Oh, very good question. Very broad. Again, it is not just geostrategic wars, but a long-term aspiration of developing countries, and also their course of development, and also their ability to raise themselves. Do you think dollar will lose its dominance anytime soon? Indian currency, fourth most popular currency globally, is being encouraged to counter weaponization and domination of US dollar. The recent push towards internationalization of rupee to counter monopoly of US dollar in international payment system, exchange rate volatility, and promote more stability under managed float exchange rate system. Increase trade competitiveness with payments in local currency. For example, 90% of trade India, Russia in repo rupee Vostro account post 2022. Increase acceptability of rupee India, already increasing rupee payments with Laos, Cambodia, Bangladesh, and UAE. Reduce over reliance on forex reserves, cover for imports, and tackle imported inflation and depreciated rupee against mostly dollar. Trade security to counter impacts of sanctions given geopolitics. This is a good point. That's what I was looking for. 40% of share of Russian crude oil imports into India post sanctions due to those flow accounts. However, global dollar enjoys the status of global currency due to several reasons. Faith in dollar as secure currency. USA is the world's largest economy, estimated to be $29 trillion as of 2024, whereas India is still far behind, $3.8 trillion, fifth largest. Global acceptance of Indian rupee is still a long journey that will be determined by rising role of India in a world. So fair enough, simple, interpretation is given. Uh, we will discuss it further. Despite significant pressure from the developed countries to alter its food subsidy system, a regime, there is a merit in India trying to retain its policy support for the poor in the country. Discuss. Several developed countries like US, Australia have raised apprehensions about India's food subsidy regime in WTO. They believe that India is misrepresenting, India is violating the fair trade norms, and distortionary trade practices are being practiced by India, and it is violating agreement on agriculture. So Brazil and Australia, sugarcane subsidy by India, buffer stock by FCI and MSP to farmers, in unfair practice to increase exports. So I think very, very beautifully explained. However, India's stand has always been that the objective and intention behind food is to ensure food security and poverty alleviation. De minimis level of subsidy ambit allowed 10%. Agreement on agriculture and peace clause adopted at Bali Ministerial Conference 2013. It allows imposition of food subsidies to the developing countries which do not distort trade. You can always talk about India's farmer size, and also you can talk about per capita GDP, and also India being a developing country. Those elements must also be brought. India retaining its stand, fight multidimensional poverty. This is very good. MDI. And then Niti Aayog report you're talking about, to feed world's populous countries. Okay, your ideas are coming, which you were talking. Farmers' interest and security income with 50% population engaged in agriculture. Therefore, India maintains transparency with different subsidy measures with WTO holding principles of natural justice for all. So again, the point is, those countries which are actually crying foul, they have passed that level. For they are themselves subsidizing, and they are themselves giving huge incentives to their farmers, whether it is US, whether it is Australia. Farming is not a incentive based work in these countries, but still, so they want to retain their monopoly. They are not ready to go beyond their injustices, and they are questioning India. Definitely, that's how they will do. Several initiatives have been taken by the government towards addressing India's water needs, but issue of water availability and quality still warrant prioritized intervention. Again, very, very broad. One theme is being covered. All questions are covering one theme. Very good, broad ideas. Jali Jeevan as slogan and institution of Ministry of Jal Shakti indicates the priority of conservation of water resource by the government. Okay. नॉट जस्ट जल ही जीवन है, वो वाटर की पूरी बात कर रहे हैं, तो सिर्फ जल ही जीवन तो एक पार्ट हुआ, मतलब जल ही जीवन ऑब्वियसली एक पार्ट हुआ, इंडस्ट्रियल है, एग्रीकल्चर है, एंड देन जियो स्ट्रैटेजिक है, पूरा मतलब वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी हर चीज को उसको में हम लेके हम बात कर सकते हैं. So, Jal Jeevan Mission, pipe water connection to all rural households. Atal Bihari Vajpayee vision to conserve groundwater irrigation, rainwater harvesting, promotion through CSR and traditional तालाब and बावड़ी. Namami Gange program, wash scheme. बात सारी सही है और बहुत ही broad है. However, still the issue of access to clean and potable water persists. Heavy and toxic metal pollution. Delhi High Court has taken note of lack of open. तो वही बात है, इंस्टीट्यूशनल इंटरवेंशन चाहिए, लेजिस्लेटिव मेजर चाहिए. इंस्टीट्यूशनल है, लेजिस्लेटिव है, इकोनॉमिक पंपिंग ऑफ मनी, और उसके बाद प्रोजेक्ट पूरा हो, एसपीवी हो, चाहे फिर वो पीपीपी मॉडल हो, कुछ भी करके रिजल्ट चाहिए, वो नहीं आ पाता. अब फ्रीक्वेंट एंड प्रोलॉन्ग ड्राउट्स इन विदर्भ रीजन, लेकिन बड़ोदरा तो डूब रहा है. जहां पर बारिश हो रही है वहां सब कुछ डूब रहा है, और जहां नहीं है वहां फिर भी प्रॉब्लम है. तो पॉइंट इज दैट यू हैव टू ब्रिंग इंस्टीट्यूशनल एलिमेंट. स्मार्ट सिटी की बात करते हैं तो वेदर सिटी इज रियली स्मार्ट. फोर्स माइग्रेशन टू अर्बन एरियाज, दिस इज डिस्ट्रेस माइग्रेशन, पॉलिटिसाइजेशन एंड टैंकर जस्टिस in slums and rural areas. I like the points. Vote bank politics like Delhi, free water measures needed. Okay, fine. Behavioral change and community participation, infrastructure investment, wastewater, even wastewater, recycling of water is a very important element. Then only in the longer run our needs will be fulfilled. Population is increasing, needs are increasing. How are you gonna extract? Extraction is more. That is why recycling is a very important part. Recycling, STP, and even water harvesting. You must bring those innovative and very very pertinent idea also. So resolution of interstate water disputes amicably, R&D into water policy, forecasting usage patterns. Yeah, usage patterns, वो बिहेवियर वाला जो बात का है वो बहुत जरूरी है. आपकी कार भी पानी से धुलेगी, आपके बाद फिर आपके प्लांट्स में वही पानी डालेगा, तो आप दूसरों को ब्लेम कर रहे हैं ना, इनजस्टिस तो है ही. Therefore, SDG 6 clean water and sanitation must guide measures taken to be. Fair enough, fair enough. चलिए. Different dimensions of food security and determine India's status in terms of ensuring food security with regard to these dimensions. Food security beyond food production. Okay, आपने बताया. The whole ecosystem and several dimensions of food security are so. Okay, fine. Food availability, 311 metric ton grains, 280 metric ton milk. Nutritional security, macro micro nutrition portion 2.0, as we were saying over there. Also supply chain management to reduce food loss, food accessibility, last mile connectivity, remunerative farming. So it is also on parallel and equally engaging and comprehensive start, like the way first answer was there. Status is adequate food availability, food grain prices, milk, but issues arises with nutrition safeguard, for example protein deficiency. Thus in global hunger index India rank इतना ठीक बात है. Food is becoming accessible via PDS, one nation, one ration card, but focus is on targeted food delivery. 45% women are anemic and stunting is there. Supply chain management needs augmentation like ENAM, Mega Food Park. Very good. This is a good point. Rationalization and MPS, MSP and diversification of income will ensure rural sustainability. Beyond food, preventive methods such as public health sanitation under SBM ICDS scheme ensure out-of-pocket expenditure. So this is also on track. You are in your own way able to, whatever you are writing, are able to justify. So I will appreciate this also. Modern technology, we were speaking about blockchain and chat GPT, which are going to transform agriculture into more efficient and sustainable. Let's see how. Use of technological intervention, and 86% farmers own one less than 1 hectare. This is a very good point. 65-70% is rainfed, and 6 to 15% post harvest losses on sown. It is seen. So point is that when you are writing all these 4 points, and on the top of it, then you are bringing how chat GPT and blockchain will help ensure. So this is more thinking. So I think half marks more will be there than the first answer that we read. At least half to 1 marks will be more, because you are able to bring the distressing point in the beginning, and then you are linking it with the chat GPT and blockchain. Over there also it was there, but this is also a good idea. So we have to bring maximum in minimum words. However you are able to do it, score will be there. Financial credit structure more formalized, as I said over there also. RRB and PSEs, even RBI report is there. Even rural poverty is linked with it. Rural credit is linked with it. Farmer suicide is also linked with it. Nobody is bringing it. Dissemination of knowledge in local language. This is a very good point. Krishi Vigyan Kendras, streamlining land record and associate right to small and marginal farm. This is a very good point. Collectivization of farm, especially with blockchain, it can happen. Data availability and analysis on soil mapping, health crops. This is fine. And however, adequate cyber safeguard is also needed. Data protection, institutional support, and demonstration, demonetization, democratization
Democrat.
of data. for example, dashboard. So I think first answer was also equally compelling. This was also compelling, and one or two elements here and there, but they are competing and they are compelling. Led to recent acceleration in the trend towards de-dollarization. De-dollarization trends in the progress from peak. This is a very good point. 70s to 80s, 65% to 75% of world trade is less than 55% 2022. Offers insight into new financial order that is being coming up post Putin. So this becomes formal. Factors for recent acceleration is rise of multilateralism principle from existing camp. USA versus USSR. So approach is different, and China, India, Russia, that's I was also talking about, losing credibility of dollar due to USA economy towards bankruptcy, that is debt is more than 10 trillion, eroding faith over globalization from 2005 onwards, 2008 financial crisis in fact, and post COVID also criticism of sanctions swift against Russia causing insecurity dilemma, country adopting local currency. So this answer becomes more comprehensive than the previous one. Approach is more broader, so more score will be here. Ending printing of cash by USA, leading to inflation in other countries. Eurocentric approach regarding loan and debt financing by World Bank and IMF. Dollar and hard currency presents have no single challenge, either euro and yuan, EU and yuan. Therefore, it will not lose dominance anytime soon. However, it is slowly declined due to isolationism, trade policy by Trumpism economics. Local currency trade is increasing and chances of BRIC currency after BRIC. So that was also good approach. This is also good, but then bringing couple of more elements from here over there and from there over here will make the best use, because here India's currency is missing, over there the explicit and the broad element of dollar is missing. So I think both could have been mixed. That would have been amazing. Okay, developed countries to alter food security regime, food subsidy regime, humanitarian principle, or catering to two-thirds of population, attaining the goal of SDG 2.0. That's fine. Food security subsidy offers NFSA 2013 price support, income support. Fair and structured. Developed countries, they pressurize India. Temporary peace clause is there, Bali clause is there, MSP distorting trade policies they are saying, and opening of food market in India and private sector. That is what they want. But there is merit for India to retain huge population. We have just said that. PMGKY, poverty alleviation program, UNHDR principle, in more than half of more 80 crore people, in fact, they are being given. And many people are coming out of poverty also, but 30% remains still. Special but differentiated treatment and a hallmark of WTO principle in trade policy, which we are following. Limitation in support mechanism, endless subsidy cycle causing fiscal imbalance. Ecological concern and damage, wheat rice cycle, correct. Less cost competitiveness in agriculture sector affecting prosperity. Given all conditions, there is merit in supporting poor in the country. So I think this is again a little bit more. The answer, first answer was also very structured and very organic and very good flow. But couple of more points, couple of more words, in fact, key words at the right place, they will give advantage to this answer. Several initiatives have been taken by the government towards addressing India's water needs. India is expanding, developing faster space in economy and demography. Therefore, water need, obviously we said so, more than 65% adequate resources, 1,500 cubic meter is there per individual, but it will reduce to 1,100 in next 30 years. So this is a good point. Initiatives, we are talking water availability, Amrit Sarovar Bharat, PM Namami Gange project, interlinkage of rivers like Kane and Betwa, spawn cities like reclamation of wetland is a very good example. Water quality is also a challenge. Pollution have impacted water availability. Fluoride issue in Eastern India, sewage problem in major cities. PM Jal Shakti focuses on pipe drinking water. More than 65% is done. Institutional augmentation of CPCB and NGT to enforce pollution control certificate. This is a very good point. Establishment of STP, Singapore model, 100% recycling. Technological technological solution like RO desalination are used in coastal areas to meet quality water quality targets. So I think again this is a very good data के साथ है, and both the ideas can be handled. I think it is a good point. So let's read what is there. Food FAO delineates various dimensions of food security. So food availability, food accessibility, food affordability, हमने भी ऐसे ही बताया, बिल्कुल सही बात है. फूड अवेलेबिलिटी हमने बताया 78%, ठीक है, चलिए चलिए. लार्जेस्ट राइस एक्सपोर्टर, सेकंड लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर, सेकंड, ठीक है, हमने भी सही बताया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लो प्रोडक्शन ऑफ पल्सेस, बिल्कुल सही बात है, चलिए चलिए. फूड एक्सेसिबिलिटी पॉजिटिव में हमने बताया NFSA 13 हमने भी बताया, PDS सिस्टम बताया, ऑटोमेशन ऑफ फेयर प्राइस, ई पॉस बताया, आधार सीडिंग हेल्प इन जॉबलेसनेस बताया हमने, लॉजिस्टिक सेक्टर अंडर डेवलप, फूड वास्टेज अकाउंट्स फॉर 30% ऑफ लॉस, 16% ऑफ इंडियंस अंडर मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी लाइन। फूड अफोर्डेबिलिटी में हमने बताया पीएम गरीब कल्याण योजना, शॉर्ट कमिंग का फूड इन्फ्लेशन होता है जैसे टोमेटो में देखा हमने, न्यूट्रिशन में भी इन्होंने, सो देयर आर सो मेनी वेज टू हैंडल द सेम आंसर। So I think we are no less, and intention and ideas are same. Little bit of more, one or two more facts in the first answer which we did. One or two more, जैसे PM पोषण, ICDS, अनीमिया मुक्त भारत, ये सारा राइस फोर्टिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम हमने भी दो एक दो पॉइंट बताए, लेकिन एक काल मतलब थोड़ा और हल्का सा उसको स्ट्रक्चर करते ही वी आर ऑन ट्रैक। सो SDG 1, और हमने फूड सिक्योरिटी की बात कर दी, हमने PDS की बात कर दी, शांता कुमार कमेटी की बात हो गई, ठीक है, हमने भी किया, फेयर इनफ। As per Accenture, ChatGPT based AI technologies can add US 1 trillion to Indian economy. This is a very good line. I always told you number of times, you can bring always future projection. ये हो जाएगा, ऐसा हो जाएगा, उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। And emerging technology like blockchain will be using 30% of, कौन जानता है, using 30% of fundamental economic operation, आप भी लिख सकते हैं। So I think हाफ स्कोर तो आगे बढ़ गया। इन्फॉर्मेशन डिसमिनेशन हमने बोला, कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र बोला, कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर बोला, चैट जीपीटी बोला, हायर वर्जन ऑफ चैट जीपीटी कैन इमेज इमेज प्रोसेसिंग, सॉइल टेस्टिंग, इक्रिसैट, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, ऑप्टिमाइजेशन ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर, प्लांटिक्स फॉर एआई प्लस कंट्रोल मिशन, सिगो बागू तेलंगाना, यूज ऑफ चैट जीपीटी एंड एआई, नेगोशिएबल वेयर हाउस रिसीप्ट्स। हाँ, ये वर्ड हमने नहीं लिखा, हमने बात की है वेयर हाउसिंग की, लेकिन निगोशिएबल वेयर हाउस रिसीट्स एंड स्मॉल वेयर हाउसेज डेमोन्स्ट्रेटेड बाय इंडियन स्टार्टअप वर्ल्ड, यहाँ पर आधा नंबर आगे आ जाएगा। इंडिया चेन, एक इंडिया की जो नीति आयोग की इंडिजिनस इंडिया चेन रिकॉर्ड मैनेजमेंट के लिए, तो कम शब्दों में उन्होंने बताया, हमने ज्यादा शब्द दिए सेम बात के लिए। स्वामित्व एंड डिजिटाइजेशन की बात हमने भी की थी, मार्केटिंग इन पोर्टल लाइक जेम एंड ई नाम टू इंक्रीज, ओके फाइन, पेमेंट्स फॉर किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड, ई उर्वरक, पीएम किसान, bogus transactions and fraud can be reduced by blockchain. Hence, as CGI Chandrachud said, technologies like AI and blockchain can reduce social divides and bring justice, but should not be discriminatory. तो यहाँ इसकी कोई लॉजिक नहीं था, ये फिट नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे लास्ट में जो कोट था, बिकॉज द क्वेश्चन वाज आस्किंग हाउ AI एंड हाउ चैट जीपीटी, नॉट AI नहीं था ना, क्या था, ब्लॉकचेन,
ब्लॉकचेन एंड चैट।
ब्लॉकचेन, और वो कैसे आपके एग्रीकल्चर को करेंगे। तो जो सेकंड आंसर था हमारा, उसमें बहुत अच्छे पॉइंट्स थे, जब हम बात कर रहे थे कैसे रिकॉर्ड मैनेजमेंट वो सारा होगा। तो आई थिंक ए फेयर आइडिया ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग एंड पिकिंग थोड़ा सा करना पड़ेगा। डी डॉलराइजेशन रेफर्स टू, बता दिया, रिडक्शन इन ग्लोबल ट्रांजेक्शन इनटू US डॉलर। चलिए, स्टोरेज ऑफ करेंसी, यूनिट ऑफ वैल्यू, मीडियम ऑफ एक्सचेंज, बात तो बिल्कुल सही है। तो फैक्टर्स जैसे जियो पॉलिटिकल टेंशन कह दिया, चाइनीज डोमिनेंस कह दिया, मल्टीलेटरल स्टार्टअप कह दिया, करेंसी स्वैप प्रोग्राम कह दिया, इंक्रीज वॉलिटिलिटी कह दिया कैपिटल मार्केट्स में विद सडन विड्रॉल ऑफ एफपीआई, रिफॉर्म्स इन IMF हो नहीं रहे हैं, राइज ऑफ क्रिप्टो करेंसी आपने बताया, ठीक है। डॉलर विल नॉट लूज more than 80%, US reserve, US economy has consistently seen higher rating from credit rating agencies, political alliances like G7, IPF, IT, U2, ये सब पे US है। China is criticized for intervening in forex market, 60% of international trade and settlements in the US, India must take steps to benefit from the way of de-dollarization। तो पहला वाला जो आंसर था हमारा, जिसमें हमने इंडिया की करेंसी को लेके किया, तो वो फेयर इनफ है, लेकिन जब फेयर इनफ है, लेकिन दो तीन पॉइंट्स जो हमें डॉलर को थोड़ा सा और ब्रॉडर पर्सपेक्टिव लाने में मदद करेंगे, तो आंसर फेयर हो जाता है। बाकी तो आई थिंक एवरीबडी इज गोइंग टू राइट इन देयर ओन वे, बिकॉज इट इज एन ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन। Mandates of WTO of green and amber box and limitations of agriculture support and de minimis levels have been tackled by India, and its food subsidy continues to benefit crores। ठीक है, अपना तरीका है बताने का कि चार शब्द भी बता दिए। IMF praised India for keeping high priority under 1 crore during COVID by PM गरीब कल्याण योजना, हाई पॉवर्टी, ओके। सब्सिडीज थ्रू PM किसान हमने बात की, इंटरेस्ट सबवेंशन स्कीम की भी हमने बात की, हमने हाउस होल्ड्स की बात भी की थी, फूड सिक्योरिटी 35% ऑफ 0 to 5 years चिल्ड्रन हमने बात कर चुके हैं, हम भी पॉवर्टी ये भी हमने बात की, मेंटेनेंस ऑफ पॉवर्टी की बात की, सब्सिडी थ्रू PM फसल का योजना, हेल्प इन क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन हमने बात की, अर्बन पुअर स्वनिधि, नेशनल अर्बन लाइवलीहुड मिशन। ऐसे तो सभी कुछ आ जाएगा पॉवर्टी में, आप कुछ भी घुसा दो, लेकिन हमें थोड़ा सा देखना होगा। वनरेबल सेक्शन लाइक वुमेन बेनिफिटेड थ्रू महिला सशक्तिकरण योजना, ट्राइबल, तो महिला आ गई, अर्बन वेंडर आ गए, सब कुछ लिया है। लिमिटेशन, राइट बेनिफिशियरी हमने बात की, लीकेजेस की हमने बात की, एनएसएसओ की हमने तो ये भी बताया ठीक कैसे हो सकता है, कल्चर ऑफ डिपेंडेंसी की हमने बात की, इकोलॉजिकल डैमेज की भी हमने बात की, राइस एंड वीट साइकिल की। फिजिकल डेफिसिट बढ़ेगा, ये बात बिल्कुल सही है, इंडिया मस्ट कंटिन्यू टू सपोर्ट पुअर टू फुलफिल गोल्स ऑफ SDG 1 and 2, फेयर इनफ। इंडिया 18% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन एंड 4% ऑफ वर्ल्ड वाटर रिसोर्सेज, जैसा मैंने बोला शुरुआत में, आप क्या बोलते हैं, क्या होने वाला है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। पीएम जल जीवन योजना हमने बात किया, इसलिए मैंने कहा कि वो जल जीवन कार्य उसका एक पार्ट है। इन्होंने भी वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी में ना इंडस्ट्रियल लेके आया कोई, ना एग्रीकल्चर एग्रीकल्चर आया, लेकिन इंडस्ट्रियल नहीं आया, बाकी चीज नहीं आई, तो इससे पता लगता है कि देयर इज लॉट ऑफ स्कोप। वी आर टू मच स्टीरियोटाइप। एग्रीकल्चर में पीएम किसान सिंचाई योजना, माइक्रो इरिगेशन पॉलिसीज लाइक नेशनल वाटर, जबकि सबसे ज्यादा पानी थर्मल पावर स्टेशन में भी यूज हो रहा है, पानी जो है आपका इंडस्ट्रीज में भी यूज हो रहा है, पर बात कौन कर रहा है? क्वेश्चन इज दैट। अंडरग्राउंड वाटर टू बी सेव्ड बाई स्कीम्स लाइक अटल भूजल योजना, राइट, नमामि गंगे रिवर ब्रांचिंग प्रोग्राम, तो भाई पूरा पता है तो सब आप पेल दो। क्रॉप डाइवर्सिफिकेशन, मिलेट मिशन, इश्यूज ऑफ वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी, पर कैपिटा वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी रिड्यूस होगी, बिल्कुल हमने पहले भी बात की, तो इतना हो गया। सेंट्रल ग्राउंड वाटर बोर्ड सेंसस किया, 14% ऑफ वाटर इज हैविली एक्सप्लॉइटेड, ग्राउंड वाटर डिप्लीशन हो गया 63%, बिल्कुल ठीक बात है। 50% ऑफ रिवर विद नाइट्रेट इमिशंस, नीति आयोग 54%, अर्बन एरिया अंडर एक्यूट वाटर स्टोरेज, ग्राउंड वाटर विद यूरेनियम कंटेमिनेशन, हाई सैलिनिटी, ठीक है, फैक्ट्स दिए हैं, पर जरूरी नहीं है कि मतलब आप ला पाए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है नेचुरल तरीके से। मोर देन लेस देन 30% ऑफ सीवेज वाटर सिटी। वे फॉरवर्ड थोड़ा कम बताया, रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग ट्रेडिशनल मेथड हमने बोला भी था, सब्सिडी रेशनलाइजेशन, रिसाइकलिंग ऑफ वाटर, अलंदूर मॉडल, ये दिस इज अ गुड पॉइंट। मिहिर सेन कमेटी की बात कर दी, रिपोर्ट ऑन स्ट्रेंथनिंग सेंट्रल वाटर कमीशन एंड सेंट्रल ग्राउंड वाटर, नहीं सेंट्रल ग्राउंड, आई डोंट नो, आई कांट से
से सेंट्रल ग्राउंड
वाटर,
CGWD दूसरा है ना सर,
CGWP क्या है?
वो सी नहीं होता है, CWC होता
और
है
आपका खड़ग
लेकिन
वासला में है, एक वाटर का खड़ग वासला में भी है।
CGWA होता है, सेंट्रल ग्राउंड वाटर बोर्ड ऐसे
Anyways,
होता है,
एक
अथॉरिटी।
एक आपका वहां पर पावर वाटर पावर समथिंग लाइक दैट। Hence to fulfill, इंडिया बुक में है, hence to fulfill SDG 6 of clean water conscious for, so I think ठीक है, on track, moving on, and bringing all the key ideas. I would say that facts and data definitely is there, and I am a votary of bringing little more, 10 to 5% more, rather than only bringing challenges, more halka solution oriented ho, so I think this is going to score, one is going to score, and there will be less chances that everybody will be able to compete with you. Rest you people can say.
So in introduction, as you stated, कि थोड़ा सा futuristic angle that would give it will set a different tone in the answers. So I'll focus more on that.
Okay. और कोई एलिमेंट, वैसे आंसर्स का लेवल उठा है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा और ज्यादा ऑब्जेक्टिविटी के साथ स्ट्रक्चर्ड होगा तो फर्क पड़ेगा। औशिक, आपका क्या कहना है?
हाँ सर, इसमें वही इंट्रो कंक्लूजन में भी फ्यूचर प्रोजेक्शन में बात करना है, और कंक्लूजन में कुछ मॉडल या फिर सोल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड रहेगा, और बीच में जो नैरेटिव है उसमें भी कम शब्द में लिखना है, तो फॉर्मूला नहीं चाहिए ज़्यादा, फॉर्मूला के हिसाब से आप जोड़ लिए एग्जाम्पल लेकर।
हाँ, वो चीज विजिबल भी हुई है, और मतलब वो ये कि हाउ ब्रॉड एंड माइक्रो पिक्चर यू आर कैरिंग थ्रू आउट, देन यू आर एबल टू ब्रिंग इट। जैसे वाटर में वाटर अवेलेबिलिटी की बात है, तो इंडस्ट्रियल के लिए भी चाहिए, वो सिर्फ पर कैपिटा की बात तो नहीं है ना, सिर्फ वो इंडस्ट्रियल भी है, देन नेचर की बात भी है, नेचर में पानी कहाँ है, तो एक लाइन नेचर पे भी तो आ सकती है। So it is an open-ended thing. That's what we have learned. All questions, they carry their own gravity, and we have to write best according to our own personality. Otherwise, we have to mold our personality to be on the top. Thank you very much.